Yo, what up, boys? It's your guy. That's so stupid. I don't know. Usually when people make videos like these, they kind of have a plan, a thought, a fucking what's the word? Like a plan. I don't, and there's gonna be no editing either. So deal with it, pussies. Sorry, I deflect. Anyway, I don't know. I guess I wanted to fucking vent, talk directly to my shitty MacBook camera, my shitty AirPod microphones, and talk about things that have been happening. Because holy shit, guys, a lot of things have been happening with your boy. And I still need, not that I need to make it because it's not time yet, but there's still going to be the time capsule video in, I think, October. I recorded the last one in October, so I'm not gonna like spoil everything. I guess this is like Time Capsule 1.5, if you want to call it that. So now you gotta keep up with the series. You gotta watch more than one a year. No, I don't know. This is more just like I want to talk about music, you know? This could be a 5 minute video, this could be an hour. Who knows, man? Welcome to the channel. uh, I guess life has been crazy, man. Um, I think like I don't know. It's hard because like I don't want to give everything away from the time capsule videos, but fuck it. Whatever. Since the last kind of update video I did, I think the last video like talking video I made was the EP is done. That's when I had finished Vibing and Dying. For the most part, there was a few edits I needed to make on it, but it was done. It was recorded. All 6 tracks plus 2 extra that got cut, you know. They were done. And at that point, I was working on the second one, which I just announced today, so you guys know, the Dark Knights mixtape. And I'll talk about that too, because I'm just rambling. So yeah, I think around that point, I was writing some of those songs, which was crazy. It was cool to me, but yeah, the last update I did, I just finished the EP, so I haven't talked since I've had music out. I mean, I had Plottin, but that was about it. That did really good though, and I appreciate all the support on Plottin. Like, it meant the world to me. Like, a lot of people fucked with that song heavy, man, and it was really crazy to see. Um, and then the support has gone further. I dropped Vibin' and Dying, and everyone went crazy over that, and I appreciate that heavy, you know? Like, Vibin' and Dying was a thing that was a passion project. I think I started it, I want to say late March, early April. I think it was around March 20th, I remember, of writing the first lyrics to the song Vibin' and Dying. Like, if you guys want some history on the songs, that was the first one. No, Siri thought I was talking to her. Them, sorry. That was the first song, Vibin' and Dying, and that's what kind of gave me the idea because I think I just can't come up with a melody, the hook of Vibin' and Dying. I was like, yo, that's kind of fire. That's a cool song. And I thought of that one, and I was like, that's actually a fire title. Because then I started thinking of, I think this is the first time I've said this publicly, like the concept of the record. That I started to come up with a concept where I was like, it's not that it's like super, fucking explicit. It's not like super what I'm trying to say is it's like the concept isn't like huge or anything. It's a small thing, but I was like, what if there's 6 tracks? There's 2 sides. There's the vibing half and the dying half. So I'm sure you guys probably noticed the track list is set up. There's 3 kind of hype songs, and then there's 3 kind of like depressing, just sad songs that they all touch on something in my life. The 3 vibing tracks are just bangers. Like they're just like you could say make an argument to where they fit in the story if you want. That would be kind of cool. I've thought of ideas when writing them, but the 3 that really have like details and like stories behind them are the dying tracks. They're all about something. I think bad. oh, Ooh, not there yet. I think not I think I know. Voices is about like anxiety. A little you can make an argument for depression in that a little bit, but it's mostly about anxiety and something I deal with heavy. Um, Bad Morning. Obviously, I think that's the most heavy-handed one. Bad Morning is about a breakup. It's about kind of, and I liked that one because it wasn't a traditional like, "Hey, please get back together with me" song. Like I'm miserable without you. No, it was from the beginning. I wanted it to be something different. I wanted. There's not a lot of songs about like accepting, you know, and moving on. I mean, I guess you could say there are some, but I feel like most love songs I hear are like, "I'm so broken without you," or "Please, I love you" type things. Like, and as I say, I haven't wrote any, but it's like, actually, no, I haven't. I don't think I've wrote any with that "Please take me back" attitude because it's kind of pathetic, and I'm a pathetic person, but I try not to stoop like that far. Bad Morning was important to me because I wanted it to have some hope, some levity to kind of show that like people grow apart and it's okay, like I think the last line of the song I really enjoy where it's kind of talking about like a lot of times people split it because of life goals. Sometimes people are holding each other back and you're never going to achieve everything you want to do if your life is stuck with this one person that doesn't fit into that category. And it happens to everybody. Not everybody. I mean, it happens to like a huge chunk of people. Like it's a very common thing, and there's no bad blood between anyone that has to have that happen. Through anyone that goes through with that. I can be pretty confident in that. It's just people grow up, and that's just what happens. Especially when you do with young people. They're like you have their whole lives ahead of you. So I wanted that song to kind of I wanted like a banger for people to listen to that also has like a positive spin. That's like people grow. It is totally okay to end a relationship because, you know, you're growing apart. It's totally okay. So like I think one thing that like I don't want to say that like, oh, I bet you didn't notice this because maybe it's not as subtle, but I like the little at the very last line. There's an ad lib of me saying goodbye. Like I don't feel like that people have noticed it that much. I'm not saying it's the biggest thing in the world, but it's more of like a goodbye song, not a hey, let's try again. It's goodbye. Like, and that's what I like about Bad Morning. It's about moving on, and then also it's also about like knowing you need to move on and being okay with it and accepting it, but still kind of having that pain where it's like I've accepted this. This is a good thing for me. I don't want to change it, but damn, it still hurts, and I wish it didn't. Kind of thing, like that kind of transitional period that I don't feel like it's talked about enough, where like you still hurt, but like you understand why it had to be that way and you agree. You've moved on. You may not long for this person, but you still have that like feeling. It just happens. So I wanted like a positive song about that. Not to like, toot my own horn for so long, about the song. I just really liked it. And then yeah, Disassociation. Man, is there a story for that one. Yeah, that one's about depression. Like I think it's maybe the heaviest song I've done. 2021 maybe ties for that, but it's definitely one of the heaviest songs I've done, and I don't know what I would classify for a story for that one. That one was that's an old track. Like Five and Dine obviously came out February 25th, 2022. This association was written very early 2020, I think. Yeah, it was like very early 2020 when I was going through probably one of the worst times in my life. And I don't think I can pinpoint why that was because seemingly my life was going well, but it just, I felt empty. And it's to get kind of deep, I guess. It's a lot of how I feel nowadays, which is why I thought it was important to dig the song up out of the vault and re-record it. I think I'm doing fine nowadays, and like before you even make any assumptions, anyone that knows me, you don't know why I feel this way. I just want to like make that clear. It's not about any issues I've talked about publicly. I just feel a certain way because I feel a certain way. I'm like depressed because I'm depressed. That's like about it. Like there's no underlying issue because if I knew, it would make it a lot easier to like diagnose this. Trust me, man. If I knew why I felt this way, it'd make it a lot easier. So it's nothing about anything I've said, any issues I've dealt with. It's not that. But yeah, I think I'm a little better than I was when I wrote the song in 2020. But I was in a pit when I wrote that song. Like it was really bad. Like I was in a really horrible time in my life, but you would never know just because on the surface I had so much going for me. Like I don't know why I felt that way because I had like yeah, my life was so great, guys. No, I wouldn't say that, but I think I was in a decent place, you know, and I had good friends, relationships. I had a really good job, and I have a good job now. I like my job. I had good friends. I just moved into my first apartment and all that, and for some reason, I just felt stuck, you know. I just felt horrible. And yeah, I wrote that song, which is another reason, like, one of the lyrics says, I'm only 19, but my mind ain't older. That's because I was 19 when I wrote that. I mean, obviously. But I think a lot of people kind of thought I wrote that, like, now, because I'm 21 now. So it's been a couple years. I'm turning 22 this year. So I've had some time. There's been ups and downs. Like, I think I'm feeling better, but I feel like I'm still in a lot of that depression that I was in 2020. It's went away a little bit over the years and then it comes back and it goes, but it's the same depression that comes and, you know, can't pinpoint why. So I think that's kind of a reason that I pulled it from whatever. Like, I've concepted like so many albums in my life that it's kind of crazy that I've never made. So Vibin' and Dine was the first time that I've actually executed a concept and finished it, which is I was really happy about that. I talked about that in the EP is done video, but yeah, I was really excited about that. I loved that I was able to actually like commit to something and finish it. It felt so nice. It felt really nice. So, like I had like a huge plan for albums and as you know now, I don't want to make an album. Not until I don't want to say until I'm signed to a label, but at least till I'm at a point where I'm able to live off my music. I feel like I have enough talent to produce a whole thing by myself with like help of people because I'm a very collaborative person. So essentially till I'm at the point where like I'm able to be in a studio with producer and engineer and friends like every day to like actually craft an amazing album. Until then, I'm making singles, EPs, and mixtapes. I may make an EP that's equivalent to an album, technically, but I never want to call it an album until I'm ready. So, yeah, an album was going to go on, and then eventually it was going to go on a mini EP before the album, and then eventually I was like, this needs to go on Vibin' and Dine. Vibin' and Dine looks like it's going to actually be finished. I'm going to go ahead and put it on here. And I did, because I was kind of feeling a lot of the same emotions then. So I was like, I feel like it's a good kind of like way to wrap up everything. I mean, I guess it's not because it's a very dark record and leaves you on a somber note, but I kind of felt like that was important because part of me felt like that's my life. There are ups and downs, but I always kind of end up this way. And maybe that's not the most positive thing to say, but yeah. Anyway, after that, I was working on Dark Knights for a while. And that, I don't want to like give it away because it's not out. Drops July 29th. Save that date. But it started as something like it kind of started as a Vibin' and Dine sequel. Like there's a couple tracks that are still on there that have sort of the sound of Vibin' and Dine, but over the not years, over the months, it's kind of progressed, and then it went from an EP to being the second EP to being a mixtape. What's the difference? Nothing really. Oh, excuse me. I just think calling it the Dark Knights mixtape is fire, but it's more mixtape vibes. Like it's more like there's not really a story there. Like there's a sound for sure. Like I'm going for more of a dark kind of like I don't want to say grungy because you get the wrong idea. Maybe like a dark gritty kind of like mixtape vibes, a bunch of features. Like this whole thing is gonna be Louisville artists. If you don't know, I'm from Louisville. That's my town. That's I love it. I've left and I've come back. Like can't keep me with I guess whether that's good or bad. But yeah, I mean, it's all gonna have Louisville features. Like I'm doing this for the underground, and I'm sure I'll do a video about it at some point. But I have high hopes for what Dark Knights as a series can end up being, and I'm trying to make sure this is a good first impression to get that off the ground. You know, so like I think that'd be kind of fire. Like what I have in my head, guys, you don't understand like how cool this could be. This could be awesome, but I don't want to set too high hopes for the record. This is still baby steps. Like, I'm sure I'll fail in some aspects. Some tracks might not be as good as the others. I'm just being honest. I don't want to put myself down, but I'm growing. I'm sure if there are things you don't like about Dark Knights too. I mean, I'm sure if there's things you don't like about Dark Knights, I will listen to that. You'll tell me, I'll listen, and I'll take that feedback and make Dark Knights 2 better, and hopefully so that's why I love feedback because if you don't like something, I don't want you to write me off. I totally understand the kind of culture where it's like, I didn't like this record, so I don't think I like the artist. And that's totally understandable. I feel like if that artist is established enough, if you listen to like a record that they just dropped, you can kind of get an idea of the type of music they make. But I think if you listen to an artist at the very beginning of their career, don't write that off because of a don't write them off because of a project. I don't mean that you have to be a big fan of them and lie to yourself, but if you don't like what an underground artist is making, reach out, tell them, you know? Like at least for me, I always make Instagram posts where I'm like, "Hey, review the album, give me criticism." No one ever really slides up, but I want you to. Like if you have opinions that are negative, as long as you like say them in a, nice way, like as long as you're not like, hey, this shit's fucking ass, stop rapping, you know, then say it. Like if it's like constructive criticism, like, hey, I appreciate what you're doing. I don't think this record works. Here's why. Like, the sound doesn't fit you. I think you're trying too hard on this song. Maybe like do a different flow for that. Like, some of your bars need work. Like things like that. Like if you like I'm open to that type of criticism. Like genuinely tell me because if you don't like my music, I want to fix it so that you do. I don't want to keep doing the same thing if people don't like it. I think so many artists are so adverse, so adverse to criticism that it hurts them. Like so many people don't want to listen. Like I think so many people have not to attack anybody. I think so many people have inflated egos, especially underground artists. Like I think like they get like 5 or 6 people in their clique that like hype them up, and so they kind of get this ego that's like, damn, I'm the hottest shit in the underground right now. But they kind of forget that like the humility, They forget that like humble aspect where it's like you don't have to say your shit's ass. If you think your shit's good, then you can gas yourself up. You can hype yourself up like, man, my shit's fire. But I think ignoring all criticism and kind of shutting it down only hurts you in the long run because you want to make things that people listen to. And if people aren't listening to it because they don't like it, then what is the point? I mean, I think at the end of the day, you shouldn't make something that you don't like. Like, if someone said, stop rapping, go make jazz, I'm not going to go make jazz because I don't particularly like enjoy making jazz. Maybe I will one day, who knows? But at this point in my life, I like making hip hop. I don't want to go make jazz, so I won't. But if someone says, hey, I like the foundation here, I just think you messed up in a couple sections. These tracks don't work. This sound is doable, but you need to do this because you didn't give it a great attempt. Like, that will make me be like, okay, let me take these criticisms and actually do this because you said you want to see the sound from me. You just don't think I did it right. So let me do another attempt and take your criticism. Like, that's how I operate. Like, sure, it's gonna hurt to see people not like the projects. Like, of course, I'm a human. I want people to like my stuff. So, but I think after like 60 seconds of that damn feeling, I'll get inspired and be like, all right, bet, let's make something that they do like. Not a fuck you, I'm gonna fucking show this person attitude. Not that, but just like a kind of like a I don't know. I guess like when a teacher like grades your work, but you kind of get like inspired because you know the teacher fucks with you. So you do another draft and you give it back to them later, like, "Hey man, what'd you think of this one? I'm kind of excited about this." I don't know if any of you guys were like nerds like that, but I like that feeling. Like I get excited to like send a new song to that person who criticized and be like, "Hey, what'd you think of this? Like, did I fix my shit?" Too many people get inflated egos and don't want to listen, and I think it's important because at the end of the day, if you just want to make music that you listen to, and that's fine, that's totally fine. But you're not gonna, at the same time, achieve your dream of being big because people aren't gonna like it because they've established that they don't like it, and you haven't done anything to change that, to like fix it in any way. So, I don't know, I'm rambling about that at this point, but please criticize me. Like I said, don't be an asshole. Like I don't I don't need to hear, hey, your shit fucking sucks. Like, sure, it's your opinion. I'm not gonna yell at you, but like, keep it civil. Just be like, hey, this didn't work for me. Here's why. Here's what I want you to succeed. Here's what you could do better. It's so simple, man. People don't do that, but it's so simple. If you want an artist to grow, just criticize them in a respectful way, and hopefully that artist listens. But anyway, yeah, so I'm hoping Dark Knights becomes like let's move on from Dark Knights. Like, I'm excited for it. Fucking stoked, man. Like, I'm genuinely so excited for Dark Knights. It's coming up to the wire. I won't even lie to you. I'll keep things a buck. It's coming to the wire, and I'm stressed. Waiting on features, all that jazz. Like writing my own verses just in case I don't get those features. So it's stressful. Like I'm trying to finish some of my verses. So working down to the wire, but I think I kind of work best, under pressure. So that's why I like to set dates. Like I know a lot of artists won't set dates until they're comfortable that they can hit them until they're almost done with the record. I don't do that. I'll set a date when I'm like halfway done with the record, maybe less, and that might be a bad thing. You might be saying, "Oh, you don't give the record enough time to breathe." I think it's the opposite. I think I work better. Like I work better when I need to finish something, and I don't think I work with a mentality of let's just write anything just to get it done. Like I don't work with that mentality. Like I've rewrote verses like a day before I'm supposed to turn the record in. Like I've done that type of shit. So like I genuinely do try to give a good product, and I think my brain works in that way where it's like as well as being, oh shit, I need to turn this in, I'm also like, oh shit, like this also needs to be like great so that people don't instantly shit on it. Like I don't want to put out a bad product. Like you guys don't want to hear a bad product. I don't want to put one out. I'm aware that it might be bad because I'm still growing. I don't want to hide everything in the vault and never drop it and never achieve my dream just because I think everything needs to be perfect. But I also don't want to put out something that's like absolutely dog shit. So it's a balance, but yeah, I kind of work good. like down to the wire, like moving on. After vibing and dying, like a little bit into writing Dark Knights, I dropped Superheroes. Me and Mr. Max dropped a collab mixtape, and it's fucking fire. Superheroes goes dummy hard, guys. I don't know if you've listened to Superheroes, but like that's some of my best rapping is on Superheroes. Like I genuinely fuck with that mixtape so much. And that was like I'll be real with you. Superheroes was in the works before Vibin' and Dine. Okay, not in the works before Vibin' and Dine, but before Vibin' and Dine dropped. Like when Plottin, as you guys probably know, Plottin is on the mixtape. We concepted Superheroes when we made Plottin back in October. Like I think I dropped Plottin like a week or two after me and Max sat down and made 3 songs. Like I think that night we made Plottin, 100 Million, and Highs and Lows. Like we rewrote Highs and Lows later on for the record version, but yeah, we worked on like 3 songs that night. So Superheroes has been kind of in the works for a little bit. I won't say that it was constantly being worked on. It was also a down to the wire thing for Superheroes. Like it was actually like late on streaming for a couple days because like I was like sending verses to my homie Chris Carswell who engineers all my projects, all Max's, a bunch of people in the Louisville Underground. Check him out on Instagram. He's always been in the descriptions of the videos and always will be. So huge supports to him. Huge shouts to him. But yeah, I was sending verses to Chris like when the record should have already been uploaded, kind of shit. So we were down to the wire on that one, but I think it turned out good. I mean, part of me wants to Life of Pablo it a little bit, and maybe you'll hear a new version of that record. Nothing substantial, just a couple like mixing things that like I want to try something different with. But you didn't hear that from me. Might never happen, but I don't want to tell you what I would change so that you don't listen to it and be like, "Oh yeah, that is a problem." But yeah, I love Superheroes. Like I think it was such a good memory of being at 4th of July the day after we dropped Superheroes on SoundCloud because like I said, the Spotify update was delayed. Upload was delayed for a couple of days. But like I was sitting at Thunder over Louisville with my family. We had a portable speaker and I was just bumping Superheroes. And it was fun. It was a good memory, man. Like I'm always gonna like remember stuff like that, you know? Superheroes launch was hype for me because I got to make a collab tape with one of my close friends, you know? The guy who practically got me into rapping. Him and like Havoc, I think both really got me into rapping. Like especially Max, working with him at Dairy Queen and just talking about random shit, talking about rap and everything. Really made me want to try hard. So to get not to get too sappy about this, but to like get to be on a record with him and like show that I can rap. Like rapping with a guy who got me into rap and holding my own when he's had so many years on me. Like at least I think I held my own. You be the judge of that. Tell me what you thought of superheroes down below. Sorry, I didn't mean to flip you off. Down below. But holding my own on a record with him like felt nice, man. Because it's one of my closest friends. Like Max is the homie, man. Like I'm appreciative of like everything this man has done for me. Like all like people I've met through him and like shit like that, man. Like it was Superheroes was a moment for me. And it's still going. Superheroes is my latest project, so that moment's still going. I'm still getting people like hitting me up about it, be like, hey, this shit was fucking fire. Like I appreciate that, you know? So yeah, now fast forward, the big thing that kind of made me want to talk like do this video. I'm about to do a concert, which is crazy. Like I when I did the last time capsule, one major thing I forgot to talk about was my goal for 2021 was to do a performance, was to do one show. Like I was like I need to in the year and at least perform one show, do one performance, be on stage one time at least. I now have 3 offers. I can't do one of them because I won't be able to make it, but I'm doing 2 so far. And with those come more opportunities, and I already have. I'm in talks to do a third. So it's fucking crazy, man. First one's in like a week. Fuck yeah, that's a week. Like a week and a few days, you know? Like I think a week and 3 days. So like 10 days, dude, until like this concert. Which is fucking mental, if I'm being honest with you. Like I can't fathom what it's gonna be like to be on stage. Like I've done it before, but not for serious rap. Like I think I've always been a music kid. I've always been someone who wants to perform. I have horrible anxiety, but I've always wanted to perform. Like I don't know if anyone, part of me doesn't want to shout out the channel or let anyone find it, but back in early high school, like freshman, sophomore year, I did this thing called the Old Man Rap for my school talent show, and I rapped like in the character of being an old man, and it was fun. It was amazing. Everyone loved it. Like honestly, a lot of people call me by like B Rant or like the name of my other YouTube channel I don't want to talk about, but a lot of people would call me my old man character too. Like it's another persona that I have. I don't want to say the name because if you find it eventually I'll talk about it, but part of me wants to keep things separate. But yeah, it was a fun time. Like I've always been a performance person. Like I was in choir for all of middle and high school. Like adored. I adore like performing music. Like one of my favorite things was getting to do the um what was it? Getting to do solos for our performance of Hamilton. Not like a con. What am I trying to say? Not like performing the play, but doing a medley of the songs. I got to do a couple solos for like Alexander Hamilton, and that was fucking awesome, man. I love that. One of my dreams next to being a rapper is to eventually play the role of Alexander Hamilton. Like, I don't say on Broadway because it doesn't have to be like New York Broadway, but just on stage, you know, like doing the actual show of Hamilton. Like maybe I could even do the Louisville branch. Like that'd be awesome. But I really want to do that. It's one of my dreams. But yeah, I always loved performing, but it's a little scary because now I'm gonna be on stage. Like, look at my complexion, man. A white boy on stage rapping about fucking your bitch and I got guns. I got shoot. I don't talk about having shooters, but yo, I'm so fucking dope. I fucking shoot guns and steal your bitch. Like, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard rapping about that on stage. But, it'll be fun. Like I'm really looking forward to it. I got one like in a week and then I got one like uh over a month from now. So it's June 24th and then one on July 25th. So far. I'm gonna talk to do another one in July, I think. So it's gonna be sick. I'm nervous as hell, but excited because this is what I wanted my whole life was for a while. For so long I wanted to be a film director or a YouTuber, you know? Like I've always loved creating things, you know? Like I've always wanted to fucking create. For a while I was wanting to be a Twitch streamer and eventually like I would love to integrate that type of content into music. Like I would love to stream studio sessions and like ask input of the fans of like, hey, help me make this, type shit. Like for the past year, I thought that was a great fucking idea. I just haven't done it yet because like I don't want to go to the studio and be like, hey, I'm gonna stream this. So I might have to make a setup here and we'll see how that goes. But I want to incorporate that way some way. Like I'm trying to use the YouTube channel for more than music now. Like I've had a few of these like just talking videos now, just like directly talking to you guys. Maybe this is corny as hell. Maybe one day I'll delete these, but I think it's always I like being transparent. I like I don't know, I just like being open and talking about things and like being an open book. Like I just think it's fun to give updates and talk about shit and everything. And yeah, man. Honestly, it's just I would love to do more like YouTube videos and streams and stuff like that with music. I've always, for like I said, I wanted to do all that, but then I found hip hop. Eventually, I found hip hop, and I was like, I want to do this. I want to craft rhyme schemes and, make dope verses and, take these words and use them in different ways and like craft sentences and tell stories and more more or less nowadays I'm moving away from like lyrical rap. Like I like that, but it's a genre that I don't want to be a part of, and that genre is white rapper music. It's a thing. Like it really is. I think there's so many white rappers who are so influenced by Eminem that they kind of make that their thing, but they don't add flavor to it like Eminem did. Eminem had like this aura mystique around him. Like I think he was doing like technical lyrical stuff, but he also had this like I don't give a fuck attitude. He was saying stupid shit. He was like this white angry guy with a chip on his shoulder. But you can't do that anymore because it's been played out. So I think anyone who tries to go that technical path just like looks like Eminem without the fucking like flair and flavor he had, but you can't do that same flair and flavor because it's played out. He's already done it. You can't do that again. So obviously, I've tried to imitate him in my life, as every white boy has. But I've moved away from that. I have a lot more musical influences that aren't Eminem. He's still my goat. Like, I don't want him to stumble across this video and be like, this B-Rank guy's fucking fake. He doesn't even like me anymore. He's still my favorite rapper. I still, like, make his new albums, like, my life for, like, 3 or 4 months. Like, I love him to death. I just think now have more different musical influences that are more on the production side because I'm passionate about producing. Like, I want to make my music about the music and not just the lyrics. It doesn't mean I won't have punchlines, clever lyrics. It doesn't mean I won't make bars, but it also just means I will focus more on the art. I want to make art music. That being said, don't go into Dark Nights and being like, damn, this shit fucking sucks because it's not artsy. Because it's a mixtape. It is going to be bars. Like anything I drop as a mixtape will just be me over some trap beats, vibing with the homies, rapping about shit, having fun with like little substance. There will be some bars, some punchlines, but I'm not telling a story on mixtapes. EPs, on the other hand, I will try to incorporate some theme. I'll try to do some fun production and try to do cool stuff. Obviously, I'm not going to start amazing, but I'm going to try to get into that more. So you'll see that growth from me, I think. I don't want to spoil it, but I'm working on something special, I think, after Dark Knights. Probably after a couple projects this year, because I have a couple in mind. I think I've said it before. I have something planned for December, I think. And I want to make that clear just in case something comes out in like October or something. You're like, damn, that wasn't special at all. December, I have something pretty special planned, I think. I'm excited of what I've made for that so far. I'm looking forward to releasing that to everybody and getting feedback and showing you guys like what I can do at this point in my life. It's a little sampler of what I feel like I'm capable of. This has been a lot. This has been so much. Like I was supposed to go take a shower and now I'm gonna not get 8 hours of sleep tonight. Fucking hell, man. But it's been fun. I like being open and like being transparent. So ask me any another thing I want to do. I should have asked this in the beginning of the video, 40 minutes ago, before everyone dipped out. Ask me questions down. Actually, I guess it's good now it's at the end. Real fans only, real friends. Put any questions down in the comments. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna do a Q&A per se. Like I might not label it a Q&A, but I will I will probably answer some questions in a next video. If you have any questions for me, music wise, life wise, video game, I like games. Like Star Wars is my favorite fucking thing ever. I'm sure you saw this tattoo. Anything you want to ask me, leave it in the comments. I'm gonna try to do more YouTube videos. So also give me ideas of what you want to see from me, whether it's music related, YouTube related, streaming related, like anything you would like to see from me, leave it down below. I would really appreciate the feedback because I want to try to dip my toes in a bunch of different things. Like I've been trying to do TikTok, so follow my TikTok. I have no ideas for like how to promote music on TikTok, but I have a few funny joke ideas. If you have any music related ideas for TikTok, leave it down below because I need all the help I can get. But I think that's it for me. I could probably go on for another hour, but guess I'll have to make a part two. But yeah, life's kind of crazy. I wanted to rant about it. Thanks for supporting me. I appreciate it heavily. It means the world to me. Anyone who decides to support me genuinely means a lot to me, and I will never forget it. I will never forget this first batch of people that, uh, you know, comments on my stuff all the time, text me daily. Like, I'll never forget you guys. And I appreciate all the support. So, I'm out. I'm gonna go take a shower and be late for work. Peace out, boys. See you in the next one.